Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. Stu Myrick coming to you from the Miami Beach Convention Center, Miami Beach, Florida, as anchoring the Horn's coverage of Super Bowl 54. And I am joined at the broadcast location by two of the baddest men, but they're good men. They're good, bad men. They are the former 5-time IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions and the faces of Bullet Club. Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, the Guerillas of Destiny.
Yes,
What's
sir.
up, fellas?
Hey, good morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Hello.
So, you know, I agreed when you walked in here. Now, you know, you guys have been part of WrestleMania weekend and just finished Wrestle Kingdom with the 2-night event. This is kind of a different level, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah. It's bigger. I think, well, more. Excuse me. That's horrible grammar.
That's okay.
Well organized.
Yeah.
More organized than when we are part of, like, Wrestle Kingdom or WrestleMania, especially with as many people that they have here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, about 150 radio stations, you know, and then, of course, all the national outlets covering the NFL. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a thing. Let's talk about Wrestle Kingdom because, you know, this year was 2-night event. And you had the title matches, you know, you guys and FinJuice and all the stuff. What did you think of having it over 2 nights? Did you have a feeling one way or another? Just give me your thoughts on 2 nights of Wrestle Kingdom.
Mixed emotions.
Yeah?
Yeah, because from one side, we're used to, you know, put everything on the line on one night. And then the next night, it's the beginning of the New Year's Dash.
Right.
You start
got New Year's Dash, and then you get ready for New Beginning. Right.
Yeah. So it was ended up being 3 days in a row, and it was kind of draining. But, you know, because the adrenaline's still pumping all through it, you know. So by the end, we were just like, we were done. It was Liger's retirement, you know. So, you know, I think it was appropriate for a legend like him to have 2 Wrestle Kingdom for him.
I was sitting on my couch in Austin, Texas at it was whatever 3, 4 in the morning in Texas, and you know, and I you know the first time I saw Jushin Thunder Liger was, of course, when he wrestled in WCW way back in the day, wrestled Brian Pillman. In fact, I'd seen Brian Pillman Jr. a couple weeks prior, and I saw him, or a couple weeks later in Dallas, and just watching that, and it was one of those things, you know, go back to that youthful, you know, and just kind of thinking back to everything he did. And then when you guys were in Dallas for the opening night of G1 Climax, and watching him just interact with people and such reverence and awe. I mean, that's you gotta love something like that, right?
Right. No, he's legendary, and I hope, especially WWE, I hope they recognize that. I mean, that guy was around the world. He traveled and wrestled in every country possible. And
even did NXT.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, wrestled Tyler Breeze in NXT. Yeah. So, I mean, he set the standard for the cruiserweight division, the light heavyweight division, whatever you want to call it. You know, he was one of those, kind of like with the Jerry Lynn and Sean Waltman and those guys. You know, he was the one that the guys nowadays, that's what they look at, right? So, you guys, you know, had a title defense. Unfortunately, lost to FinJuice. I know you're going to get it back, but talk about that chemistry with David Finlay and Juice Robinson with you guys. That was a hell of a match, and this was the night before Juice went after the U.S. title with Moxley, right?
Yeah.
So just talk about that match and how crazy, how just, you know, it was a Bullet Club match for sure, right?
Yeah. It was naturally just a natural flow. We worked Juice so many times this past year, and you know, Finley's been absent because of injury,
right?
But he's just a natural athlete. You know, he comes from a lineage of wrestling,
right?
You know? So he was just perfect in there, and those two together have great chemistry.
Yeah,
and we just put that with me and my brother. It's a nice flow, beautiful flow.
I could see that as probably the next good rivalry in the tag team division in New Japan. Don't you agree, Tonga?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, FinJuice, they're definitely like brothers. Those guys, what you see in the ring, their chemistry is the same outside of the ring, which I can appreciate, so which makes them a really, really good team. And so when they can, you know, interact in the ring, both outside and inside the ring, I mean, like, you can't go wrong with those two. And like Thomas said, hell of an athlete naturally, Finley is. And Juice is just hilarious.
He is. I got to meet him. In fact, it was a year ago. They were touring with Ring of Honor, and they had come through Texas. And this was like a week before I was going to Atlanta for the Super Bowl, and got to know him a little bit there, and talked to David Finley. And just he was funny. And Juice, Juice is just a character on his own. It's amazing. Talk with Guerillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa here on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. You've got the New Beginning Tour going on right now. You've got the U.S. leg. You wrestled in Tampa on Monday. Was it Monday or yesterday? Friday. You got a show coming up tomorrow night in
tomorrow.
Tomorrow
night. Near Miami.
Yes, sir.
And let's see, are you guys wrestling Finn Juice, or you got a couple other opponents? I'm trying to remember the card.
Tomorrow night we have Tanahashi and Rocky.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And the Ace and Roppongi guy. Rocky's a character. Yeah. He is hilarious.
He's a little character.
He is a little character, yeah.
No, he's great.
Yeah.
He's been in wrestling for a while. Great knowledge.
How much longer do you think Tanahashi will go? Because it seems like every time we turn around, it seems like, okay, he's got the shoulder injury, he's got this, but then he seems like he comes back stronger than ever. I mean, there's a reason why they still call him the Ace, right?
The Ace, man.
He's amazing. Like there's times you think maybe he's just got like one more leg, and then all of a sudden he surprises you with his charisma. Always one of the greatest wrestlers with that kind of charisma. But then physically he just bounces back, and I don't know how he does it. Like he just comes back, and you're like, how'd you do that? He looks fit. He'll bounce back at amazing shape, like he's back in his 20s. So it's like crazy how Tanahashi is just so awesome.
So let's talk about Bullet Club. You guys, it seems like every time someone decides they want to put a fork in you, it's kind of like a good football team. You don't rebuild, you just reload.
Yeah, that's right.
You got Kenta now.
Yeah.
You've got of course Chase Owens. You got the Taiji Ishimori, El Phantasmo. Of course, you guys, Jay White. Are you looking to recruit somebody else? Could we see a new Bullet Club member here in the near future? Or maybe I shouldn't ask trade secrets, but hey, we got to find out. Could Bullet Club be expanding?
We're always keeping an eye on the streets.
Right.
We always. There's always.
Okay.
There's
we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, especially with New Japan expanding,
Yeah.
Right, and I wanted to ask you about that. Right. So we've got New Japan Pro Wrestling of America.
Yeah.
They've got this New Beginning USA tour as well as you guys. You're going to be on the tour in Osaka and in a couple other places there in Japan. Your thoughts on New Japan expanding its footprint? Because I think especially nowadays, pro wrestling, especially in the United States, has gone through such a transformation just in the last 5-6 months. With whether it's All Elite or Impact or New Japan or Ring of Honor, whatever. Talk about the excitement for New Japan Pro Wrestling of America and how it's going to further expand not only the Bullet Club brand, but the New Japan brand here in the U.S.
Well, yeah, with us coming out here, we have the LA Dojo. So when we're doing these tours, Shibata and the LA Dojo boys are out doing basically training camps, and it gives an opportunity for up-and-coming wrestlers and well-known wrestlers on the indie scene to come in and try out and to get a look. Because, there's so many wrestlers out there.
There is.
And there's so many who don't get the opportunity. So now we have that opportunity to jump on those guys who are just so hungry to be in wrestling. And I think that's what powers New Japan, is like when they recruit or when they bring on new wrestlers, these are guys who are hungry.
That's right.
Like they want it. And they're willing to do anything and everything to be part of New Japan. And that's what we love about, especially the young Lions in L.A. Those guys.
You seen them boys?
Clark Connors and all the guys. We've got a young man out of Texas, Barrett Brown, 50 caliber Barrett Brown, that's been training in the L.A. dojo as well, and he's been doing some of those. He did the show in L.A. It was part of, I forget the convention that was there, but it was part of that. In fact, his moniker is 50 caliber. So, you might want to keep an eye on him.
Okay.
I think he, I might be a little biased, but might be a good apprentice, so to speak.
He could be a young gun, huh?
Yeah. So, but yeah, great. Fantastic. He loves going out to. He said, first time he went out there, he said, it was like night and day after he came out of that training session. His wrestling skills and his wrestling acumen, learning that New Japan style, and and I've seen it, and I've been watching him for several years, and it's not even the same kid I first met.
Yeah,
it's not the same person, but he's so good and like you said, just so hungry. So I'd say keep it out on him. But yeah, and Shibata just does such a wonderful job. And they get these, they get the guest coaches, in there as well. And you mentioned the indie talent, and Texas just such a fertile ground with independent wrestling, all over with Dallas, Austin, Houston, San Antonio, of course. So yeah, I can see that. Let's talk about Bullet Club Beach Party.
Yes, sir.
So it's Saturday, the day before WrestleMania,
April 4th.
April 4th.
That's right.
At Whiskey Joe's in Tampa. Tell it. So we know about the block party that happened last year in New York. Tell me how you came up with that idea and how the success of that feeds into the beach party this coming April.
It was actually my brother and I. We were trying to think of a way to what's the next thing that we can do for the fans besides just being a brand, being cool and wrestling. What can we do? What can we give back? How can we
basically say thank you to the fans, connect with them, and allow them to be part of our world for just a moment in time, even if it was but outside of wrestling. They're always with us when we're wrestling on TV or when they watch live streams through New Japan World, but an opportunity for them just to be around us and just in a relaxed environment, and just allow them to just hang out, and get to know us in a more intimate setting, so to speak. And I used to live in Mojo. Okay. Mojo Raleigh with WWE, and we used to party all the time. And this is how I got the idea, and I was telling Tom, I was like, dude, we got to throw a party. This is how we say, hey, Bullet Club fans, thank you so much for being part of the ride, for supporting us through all this time. Let's have a party. Yeah. And then Tama was
not just any party. We wanted it to. What I learned in Japan, my 10 years in Japan, there's a way of their culture, the way they interact, when they have sponsored dinners or get-togethers, where the wrestlers are interacting with the fans, and we all sit around and eat. And so we took that idea and took the party idea and mixed it in. Let's do this style here in America, kind of show our New Japan style, bring that culture here. And that's from there, games to food to drinks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a great atmosphere. It's a very positive wrestling community that we were building and trying to keep building. I
mean, that Bullet Club brand is still so prevalent in the United States, and so I can see that. Saturday, April 4th, Whiskey Joe's in Tampa, Florida. How can fans get tickets?
10 a.m., 4 p.m. is the party, just so you know. So get your mind right.
That's right. 10 a.m. Eastern.
Yes.
That's right.
They're in Tampa. And tell them how they can get tickets, how they can find out more. Because especially it's a beach party. Come on. You're on the beach in Tampa, Florida in April.
Exactly.
It's going to be so nice. Right?
Right.
Yeah. So should be a fantastic time.
We have a... You can go to my Twitter or my Instagram at Tama Tonga, and I have a link here on my profile. You can click on to get your tickets. We also have a handle for the Bullet Club Beach Party, block party that you can go to find.
And just search Bullet Club Beach Party.
That's right.
And you'll find it, yeah. So should be a fantastic time. If I make it to Tampa this year, I want to stop by, at least say hi.
Definitely.
Maybe share a libation, toast your success. Before I let you go, let's talk future. I know you guys are looking to get a 6th tag title reign. Has there been any thought about, we know Jay White wants the heavyweight title or the Intercontinental title. Has there been thoughts about maybe one of you going for a singles title?
I'm pretty sure we both thought about it. Every once in a while I think about it. But my main concern is always about eating something. I'm always hungry, so
Right.
I rarely ever think about.
Yeah, at the beginning, yes, but ever since my brother joined us in New Japan, my primary focus has been tag team, and where I think tag team divisions is lacking still in New Japan, that I would like to build that into something bigger.
Right.
You know, so yes, there's sometimes thinking about that, but I'm more concentrated on the tag team.
Yeah, well, it's funny you say that because you said tag team division is lacking, and still, I think it's still among the best divisions in wrestling. There are several promotions, including the biggest one, that could learn a lot about doing tag team wrestling. And I'm a big fan of tag team wrestling because I grew up in the '80s, so I grew up in the days of the Road Warriors and the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnights and the Fantastics. And I saw how big they could get.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And animals become a friend.
Yeah.
And learn it. And Ricky and Robert gotten to meet them a few times. And of course, Texas, the Von Erichs. They were always a threat for a tag title somewhere, whether it's tag title or 6-man tag or whatever. So I think tag titles, it's one of those things. Tell everybody how they can find you guys on social media.
So Tangaloa NJPW, that's the both Instagram handle and the Twitter handle. That again is Tangaloa NJPW for both Instagram and Twitter.
And Tama?
You can find me at Tama_Tonga, at Tama_Tonga on Instagram and on Twitter.
They are the 5-time IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, New Japan's biggest stars, and Bullet Club through and through. Bullet Club for life, right?
Yes.
Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, the Guerillas of Destiny.
I'm glad you're keeping count. I didn't know it was 5 times.
Yes. Well, we try to keep stats, and that's one of my favorite things about New Japan.
Yeah.
They love the stats.
Yeah.
I'm huge on stats. Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, the Guerillas of Destiny. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.